Let's talk the club. One more thing, like, subscribe, and share. Come on, let's talk the club. Woo!
Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Cutler here, the Let's Talk to Cutler broadcast, the Let's Talk to Cutler virtual book club, the Let's Talk to Cutler vlog. It is another Thursday, and I'm delighted to have you all here. I'm delighted that you've allowed me to share whatever space you've allowed me to share. So it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's your bedroom, your living room, your family room, your great room, it doesn't matter. I'm thankful that you all have allowed me these 1,800 seconds to come into your space. Thank you all so very much. I want to tell you that this channel is about motivation. It's about inspiration. It's about challenging ourselves to show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today. You all know the spiel. It doesn't mean that today is a flop or has been a failure or anything. It just means that we're taking the time to be introspective rather, and take a look at what can I do? What can I get out of this conversation that pushes me to a space tomorrow that's called better? What can I get out of these nuggets? What nuggets can I get out of these moments that will let me intentionally show up tomorrow a little bit better than I did today? That's what I'm hoping that I can offer each time we come together collectively as a community, as a family. That is always my hope, that I've offered something that will compel us and propel us into a space that's called better. So that's what this channel is all about. So if you're wondering what this guy's over there talking about, that's it in a nutshell. So please invite somebody to come on and let's talk to Cutler. Encourage them to come on and subscribe. And once they subscribe, tell them to go ahead and click on the notification bell so they'll notify, so that they can be notified whenever I've gone live, whenever I've uploaded new content, things of that nature. And then as you come into the chat room, do me a favor. Why don't you click on do a thumbs up on the conversation? It says to YouTube you like what the guy's talking about over there, but it also says to me that you're encouraged by the conversation. What I'd like to do in a few moments is just to shout out the LTTC VIP. So you all do me a favor, come on into the chat room. I have something that I really want to talk about. It struck me today as I was doing some reflecting on past conversations. So tell people, come onto the chat so we can talk and I can recognize the LTTC VIPs for the evening. But I want to continue really part of our conversation. We've been talking for a while about how to not just exist, but to live. That has been a focus for a part of our conversation. How to stop existing and really start living. So I want to take off with that. But before I take off with that again, I want to encourage you all again to just jump into the chat room. So let me just acknowledge the LTTC VIPs who are here for the evening. Then I'll take off with the conversation. And I'll try to do it. I hope I can get it done in 1,800 seconds because this one sort of weighs heavily on me and I'll probably talk sort of stream of conscious. But I want to acknowledge the VIPs for this evening. They're Annie Cutler, who says, let's ride. Kay Sharp, who says, good evening, everyone. And then Linda Martin, who says, hey, everyone. You all know, and please do me a favor if you haven't done so, if you haven't heard our conversations about how to stop existing and start living, then please make sure you catch the replay. Yes, Juanita, you're here in time, my friend. You're on time, you're in time, and all of that sort of thing. But if you have not seen the clips or caught the replays and heard the conversation about how to stop existing and start living, make sure you do that. We had that conversation for the past three broadcasts rather, and I did not get to share what I think would probably have been the very last point, the last helpful hint that I would have offered. So I want to share that, but I want to catapult into another conversation. So one of the last points that I never got around to making was stop believing you're only as good as someone else believes you are. Did I say this channel is about inspiration and it's about motivation and it is about encouraging us to show up a little bit better tomorrow than we did today? If you really want to stop existing and start really living, stop believing that you are only as good as someone else believes you are. Don't let them write the narrative of your life. They are not the author or the finisher of your life or your faith. Many times, you all, the thing that really shocks us is the realization that we are enough. So stop believing that you're only as good as somebody else thinks you are. We are shocked more often than not, rather, by the realization that we are enough. I hope at some point somebody will put it in the chat. I am enough. Sometimes the only thing that really shocks us are the thoughts that, wow, I really am enough. I'm good enough to handle that. I'm strong enough to endure that. I'm smart enough to conceptualize that. I'm powerful enough to maneuver that. I'm brave enough to tackle that. I'm wise enough to know how to deal with that. That's what shocks us. What really, really shocks us is not doing something that we didn't think we could do, but is doing something that we knew we were fully capable of doing, but we were just afraid to do it. Maybe that's just my experience only. Thing that really shocks me. I knew I could do this, but I was just afraid to do it. And when I realized I'm enough to do it, I'm good enough, I'm strong enough, I'm smart enough, I'm wise enough, I'm powerful enough, I'm brave enough. But I was bound by fear. You want to start living and stop existing? Recognize that you are enough. And you're more than what other people think of you. You're stronger than how they perceive you. You're smarter than how they rate you. More brave than how they dare approach you. You are enough, more than enough. So I just wanted to share that. I wanted to share that. And like I said, I'll probably just sort of talk stream of conscious tonight, because I thought about that thing, you all, and I said, I hope I get the chance to remind us of that. You are enough. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Keep doing it. You are enough. You're good enough to do what you're doing. Many of us, we are taking care of people. We are encouraging people. We are teaching people. We are training people. We are leading people. We are helping people. Our lives are connected to other people. And whatever you're doing good. Keep going. That's what I want to talk about this evening. You're doing good. So keep going. One of my favorite stories is a story of Nehemiah, because Nehemiah reminds us to look at how much you can accomplish when you are in line, and how much you can accomplish when you are aligned with purpose. For many of us, for a whole lot of us, our purpose is connected to people who are in our circles, people who are in our families, people who are in our spaces, people who are in our lives. Our purpose is connected to that. You're doing good. You all keep going. I just want to encourage us this evening. You're doing good. Keep going. For the purpose that you've accepted, the purpose that you are accomplishing, the purpose that you are walking in, you're doing good. And sometimes people just have to remind us that I'm doing a good job. Keep going. I felt so impressed to share that with you all this evening. I could not wait for our time together. Don't worry about the people who are not there. Don't worry about the people who don't show up. Yes, we're all going to deal with those disappointments of saying there are people who don't show up, people who don't support me, people who don't encourage me, people who don't help me. I'm telling you all, you really can't get upset with those people for not showing up. And I'll tell you why. I had to come to the realization of this. You can't get upset a lot of times with people who don't show up, and I would tell you why. Don't get upset with people who are not a part of your journey because they're not even passengers in your car. Maybe I'm just talking to me tonight because I was doing some thinking today and I thought, how often is it that I'd love to know that I'm doing a good job? So I thought I would let you all know you're doing a good job. Keep going. You're doing good. Don't stop, you all. Whatever you're doing, whatever purpose is assigned to your life, whether it's helping people, teaching people, leading people, encouraging people, motivating people, keep going. You're doing good. And don't worry about the people who are not there. People who don't show up, people who don't help you, people who don't support you, people who don't encourage you, people who don't motivate you. Again, don't worry about the people who don't show up because they're not even passengers in your car. Be thankful for the ones who are in your car. Be thankful for the ones who are still in the caravan with you. Be thankful for the people who are on the highway with you. Be thankful for the people who at least are reading the same map that you're reading. We get upset with people who are not even a part of our journey. I had an epiphany earlier today. Speaking of getting upset with people who are not a part of our journey, you all hang on to this. I hope you can grab this. Grab it by both horns, run with it, tell somebody else, put it in an email, a text, or something, and remind somebody else. Because can I tell you all, I was writing today, and it was a message to myself. It was a message to myself about why not to get upset with people. Y'all see this? This I don't know if you can see it. I wrote it on the back of an envelope of some mail that I got. You know how they send you these. You make a donation, and the next thing you know, they give you these return address things to put on cards if you send them out. That's what the back of this envelope is. But I wrote this because it was a reminder to myself. We sometimes get upset with people because we want them to be a priority, when the truth of the matter is, we want them to be a priority when they're just a part of the process. We get upset with people because we want them to be a priority when the reality is they're just a part of the process. Stop getting upset with people who you want to be a priority when they really were just meant to be a part of your process. And understand this, as I refer to my favorite story about Nehemiah, understand this, you all. People can't bring you down. People cannot bring you down. That's right, Annie Cutler. I am on the wall and I won't come down. Remember this. You're doing whatever you're doing, whatever you've laid your hands to do, you're doing a good job. Keep on doing it and say to yourself, I won't come down. People can't bring you down. Keep doing what you're doing. Cutler, why would you say people can't bring me down? Because they can only cause you to lower yourself and to bring yourself down, but they can't. Nehemiah was up on the wall working, and they called him. Come down. Come talk to us. Come converse with us. Come have a dialogue with us. And the only way he would have gotten down off that wall is not because they pulled him down. The only way he would have gotten down off the wall is by lowering himself. People can't pull you down. They can cause you and tempt you to bring yourself down. But guess what, you all? Guess what? He recognized that he was doing a good work. And he said, why should I come down? What do you have down there that's for me? That is more aligned with the purpose that I'm working on. I know I'm skinning my knuckles and scraping my knees, but what I'm doing is a work that is assigned to something that's called purpose. I know I'm sweating. I know I'm working hard. I know it looks like I'm huffing and puffing and panting, but I'm working in purpose. I'm doing a good work. And it doesn't matter what your perception is of what I'm doing. It's the value added that I know I'm adding to somebody else's life. Because a lot of times what we're doing, y'all, how many of you know that your purpose is connected to somebody else's life? Each and every day, something that you do affects somebody else's life. Purpose is connected to somebody else's life. And understand that you're doing good. I don't even know if I'll last the whole 1800 seconds, but you're doing good. Keep doing what you're doing. So Nehemiah said, why should I come down? Why should I get out of line with purpose? What was he doing on the wall? He was doing more than just rebuilding that wall. You are doing so much more than you think, you all. And that is why I want you all to understand when I asked you earlier, and I said, I hope somebody puts in the chat that I am enough. You're doing so much more than you see with the naked eye. Nehemiah was doing more than just rebuilding a wall, but he was motivating people's lives. He said, why should I come down? Here I am, not just building a wall or rebuilding a wall, but I'm motivating people's lives. Why should I come down? I'm serving as a role model. Why should I come down? I'm providing vision to help somebody out. Why should I come down? And you need to ask yourself the same thing. The things that people want me to stop, why should I stop? Take a chapter from my book. I'm trying to help save somebody else's life. Why should I come down? I'm trying to give somebody else peace and contentment and hope and joy and encouragement. Why should I come down? Ask yourselves that, because that's what you're doing. Trying to bring hope to somebody else along their journey. I'm trying to help somebody else realize that dreams come true. Why should I come down? Why should I stop doing what I'm doing? Whether it's for little children, middle-aged children, or older children. Whether it's for people in your family, people in other generations, ask yourself, why should I stop doing what I'm doing? When other people's perception of me is really not the thing that drives me, but what drives me is knowing that I'm enough. Gotta ask yourself that. Not just building a wall, but I'm calling resources into people's lives. Do you all remember the story of Nehemiah? If you don't, let me just tell you this. Nehemiah had favor with the king. And because he had favor with the king, he was able to get resources from the king to help build the wall. Do you not know that your presence in somebody else's life is calling resources into their lives? You're doing more than just building a wall. You're doing more than just showing up. You're giving somebody hope. You're giving somebody, I dare say, you're giving somebody a reason to live. One of the poems that I wrote was about getting tired and weary, but I keep on going today because my brother might get tired and weary tomorrow. You're bringing purpose, encouragement, and motivation into somebody's life. I'm telling y'all, I'm here tonight just to say, keep doing what you're doing. You're doing a good job. Yeah, so Nehemiah was doing so much more than building a wall. He was motivating people. He was giving vision to people. He was providing resources to people. He was helping save people's lives. And Nehemiah said, why? Why should I come down? No, it doesn't look like I'm doing a lot to you. I want to say that to you all this evening. It may not look like you're doing a whole lot to somebody else. But for some people, you are the whole wide world. So you all keep doing what you're doing. And may I suggest this? Have a conviction for what you do. Have a commitment for what you do. Find contentment in what you do and keep doing it. And be so committed to it that you might have to fight with one hand and build with the other. Because sometimes you've got to defend your position. You've got to defend your position while building. Sometimes you've got to defend your priorities, but you keep building. Sometimes you've got to defend your values, but you keep building. Sometimes you've got to defend your dreams, but you still keep building. Sometimes you've got to defend your hopes and your ambitions, but you keep building. Let me see what you all are saying. I hope you all are talking back to me. Yes, I have a purpose that has many connections. Absolutely. Purpose that has many connections. And you are more than enough. You're powerful enough. You're strong enough. You're brave enough to handle everything that's connected to you. Kimberly Montoya says, yes, sir. You never know what an impact a smile and a hello may do to someone else because you already know the struggle. Absolutely. When you're connected to this thing and you tap into this thing that is called humanity, you never know what kind of ripple effect you will have on somebody else's life. You could have an effect on somebody else's life today, and they could have an effect on 10 people's lives tomorrow. Don't take your life for granted. Don't take your living for granted. Don't take your connectivity for granted. That is why every time when we go off the air, I say, make sure you all do what you can do. Let's keep building community and maintaining connectivity. Because you may show up in somebody else's life today, but the person whose life you show up in may show up for 10 people tomorrow. It is called synergy. We are more together than the individual parts when we add them up. So I don't have much more. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing good. J Song for you, you're right. To somebody, I am the world. So I can't stop doing what I'm doing. Keep going and don't stop. People can't bring you down. They can only cause you, or they can only tempt you to bring yourself down. But don't you let them. Look yourself in the mirror and learn how to say, I'm enough. And if you ever get weary, and if you ever wonder if you are enough, if you ever wonder whether or not you're doing a good job, catch this replay. Catch this replay. I don't have much more than that tonight, you all, but I just wanted to encourage you to keep going. Don't get upset with people when you want to make them a priority, but the reality is they were just a part of your process. Don't get upset with people who haven't shown up in your life, because the truth of the matter is they may not even be a passenger in your car. They may not even be on the same highway. They may not even be reading from the same map. They were just a part of the process. They were never meant to be a priority. Don't get upset. Juanita, I think we all, my friend, need to remind ourselves that we are enough. And remember this, the thing that is going to shock you the most, it's not what you couldn't do, but it's what you could do, but you were just afraid to do it. I've learned that from personal experience. You all take care. And I hope in some small way I've given you an unexpected affirmation of who you are. I've given you an unexpected nugget to keep on going and keep doing what you do. There's a reason why you're still alive. Keep going. You're doing good. Thank you all. Listen, let's keep building community. Let's keep maintaining connectivity. Tell people, come on, let's talk to Cutler. You all keep your heads up. Keep your hopes up. Stay safe. Stay sane. Know this, from my heart to yours, there is and always will be so much love. You all take care and have a great evening. Good night, all.